Hi, I'm Noah Bombard, and here's what's happening in the ET Newsroom Tuesday, June 15th. Well, for nearly 2 months now, oil has been spilling out into the Gulf of Mexico, and if you're like me, you're probably getting pretty upset about that. However, some local consumers are actually taking it out at the pump by boycotting or yelling obscenities as they're driving by BP stations. Now, the interesting thing about this is that many of those BP stations aren't actually owned by the BP company. They're local franchises owned by local people. Staff writer Bill Kirk has a story online today and in today's newspaper you want to check out. It takes a look at how the local BP stations are faring given this environmental crisis and a lot of the backlash against BP. A lot of them are saying that their earnings are actually down about 50%. Now, Bill Kirk was out there yesterday talking to some of these beleaguered station owners as well as some of the customers. I spoke with him earlier this morning about what he found.
Well, I spoke with a couple of different owners. One, Hamid Saliba, out on Broadway in Methuen, up near the Salem line, said that the impact to him hasn't been all that great, only because he's got a significant car repair business. But he said what's happened to him, and I actually witnessed it when I was there, is that people are driving by. They're yelling, screaming. One car drove by. It was a van, a brown van, and it honked the whole way as it went by past him. He just pointed at him and said, "That's the kind of stuff I've been getting. That's the kind of reaction I've been getting."
So that's a great story by Bill. You want to check that out. He also goes into detail about the whole switch between Getty and BP, the BP stations, and many of them used to be Getty stations. Well, I mentioned yesterday that we'd have more information on that home invasion. It was a story that we ran online yesterday. It took place just down the street from here on Turnpike Street. Come to find out, it was actually a poker game that was going on early in the morning. One of the poker players allegedly got up from the game, stepped outside, and re-entered the house with two men, all of whom were wearing masks. According to the story, they actually duct taped and used zip lines to tie the other poker players up. They ran off with a couple $1,000s. Now, the new information we have today is that police do have a suspect. We mentioned yesterday that they probably knew who he was. However, they have released his name and his photo today. They are looking for Chris Maldonado, nicknamed Shorty. He's about 4'11" and about 120 pounds. They say he was last seen driving off in a blue Mitsubishi Galant. So that's the car they're looking for, and this is the person they're looking for. So if you recognize this gentleman or know him or are familiar with the vehicle police are looking for, they're looking for your help in actually tracking him down and being able to ultimately get Shorty. I had to say it. Just a reminder, as always, you can find all this and a lot more at Eagle-Tribune.com right now.